KSJE app. KSJE, the information and cultural beacon of the Four Corners for more than 35 years. Find out more online at ksje.com.
Ten minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday morning, the 18th day of the 8th month, 2026. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Micklin. Thank you for tuning in to KSJE this morning. We're at 90.9 FM right here in San Juan County, New Mexico. In Durango, Colorado, we broadcast at 103.3 FM. And if you're listening to my voice from anywhere else on the planet, you've gone to our website to tune in. That's streaming all the time, ksje.com. Or maybe you're using this KSJE app to listen, or you could have asked your smart speaker to play KSJE. It's great to have you all with us this morning. Also, welcome to our viewers who are watching right now. The video of this program is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. We're glad that you are here as well, everybody. Coming up, we're getting a back-to-school update from Aztec schools. It is their second day of school, as I understand it. So we'll get an update from the superintendent in just a moment right here on KSJE this morning. Then, of course, later on this hour, we'll be checking in with the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter. They'll be telling us about some of the pets up for adoption this week, including the cat you see on the screen. That's Candy. And we'll learn more about her coming up later at 8:50 on KSJE this morning. Mick Hess will take over the radio station at 9:06, Roving with the Arts, our weekday long-running classical music program for you. Don't forget, you can also find us on other forms of social media in addition to Facebook and YouTube. You can catch us over on Instagram, Blue Sky, X, and now Nextdoor. So we'll see you over there as well. And if you're a podcast listener, you can listen to KSJE podcasts wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe for free and discover a new local program in your feed, including the podcast-only program, This, That, and the Other 3.0, all about growing up in Farmington and San Juan County during the 1950s and 60s. So you can check that out, podcast only, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Or you can find them on the KSJE Radio app, available at the App Store and on Google Play. So check that out as well. Outside our studios this morning at San Juan College, sunshine, 71 degrees, more sunny and warm weather, maybe in hot weather coming up. 92 for a high today in Farmington, partly cloudy tonight, low 66, sunny and warm tomorrow and Thursday, the high each day, 94. 94 partly sunny on Friday, 92 on Saturday, 88 degrees on Sunday, and overnight lows right around mid to upper 60s and maybe a chance of showers Friday and Saturday night. Back with my guests from Aztec Schools right after this on KSJE. In a medical emergency, stroke, heart attack, trauma, every minute matters. The decisions made in those first moments can change everything. San Juan Regional Medical Center offers advanced, comprehensive, definitive care. Available 24 hours a day for everyone in our community. When minutes matter, San Juan Regional Medical Center is here. Find out more at sanjuanregional.com.
Now back to Studio A and the award-winning Scott Micklin Morning Program on KSJE.
I'm back in the studio this morning with my guest, as I mentioned, from Aztec Schools, the superintendent of the Aztec School District. Lauren Laws is back with us this morning. Good morning. Welcome back.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you back. Was I right? Second day of school?
It sure is.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, gee, you're not busy at all.
No,
Understatement of the week, at least, right? But thank you for making some time to come over and visit with all of us about this back to school time at Aztec. And
Absolutely.
So, day two, everything going good?
Day two. It's great to have students back in the buildings, and
Right.
we are just hitting the ground running, so it's been really good so far.
Very good, very good. How was your summer?
It was great.
Right.
Summer was busy,
Right.
kids are gone, staff are gone, but it's still a very busy time. So we did a lot of planning for our Tiger Summit. I don't know if
Okay.
you heard or saw, but we had a first annual Tiger Summit last week. And it was a community event that we invited our families into basically Fred Cook Stadium. And we did picture an open house for a school. We did
Right.
it for the whole district.
For the whole district, okay.
Yes.
Sure.
So,
a little bit bigger scope.
Yes, there was
Yeah.
about 63 booths. We had all of our schools, our PTOs, all of our career pathways had a booth, athletics, activities, and then we had some community members come in as well, Aztec Museum and
Nice.
just different companies. So it was a great event. We weren't sure how many to anticipate, and it was a huge hit. At
Good.
one point, we heard traffic was backed up to Safeway, which we apologize about.
Sorry, Aztec PD.
Yes,
Right.
but we were so happy that people came out
Yeah.
and spent the evening with us. So we're already working on plans to
Nice.
fix some things for next year and continue to do that. So,
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A great way to get the school year, I guess, started and to get parents and others and hopefully students too kind of
Yes.
on the same page, right, as you get going.
It was nice. Students could pick up school supplies, families that have multiple kids at multiple sites. It was one-stop shop, so that was nice. Kids got their class schedules and found out their teacher, and then each booth had some type of interactive game, and so the kids loved it. They
Nice.
were just out hanging out, having fun, so
Very good.
it was a great turnout. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm very appreciative to everyone that it's a lot of work. So
That sounds like a lot
Yes.
of moving parts for something that big district wide. So
Absolutely.
congratulations. And so, but now everybody's rolling up their sleeves and getting down to work. Huh? Is
Yes.
that how it is? Day
Yes.
2.
Here we go.
Okay,
Yep.
right. What are your plans for the school year? What have you been telling your folks, your faculty, your staff, your teachers? What are they getting ready for?
We did some work this summer with our board surrounding our strategic plan, and it felt really good. Our strategic plan was very intense, and there was a lot of parts to it. So we did some research, my deputy superintendent and I, and really spent some time last year looking at like the history of Aztec. We dove into 10 years of data and just looking at events that have happened or, things we couldn't help,
Right.
but kind of where we are as a district. So we presented it to our board and then presented them with some refinement suggestions for our strategic plan. And really, it just helped narrow our focus. They were wonderful at working with us and even making more adjustments than we had suggested. And so I just presented that to the staff very simply. We have 3 goals:
Okay.
math, reading, and science.
Okay.
And graduation. So we're just looking at how to improve, but not get below where we are.
Right.
And just continue to move forward. So it felt good to refine our focus. And so it just became more, clear.
Right.
I think everyone, our leadership team, we had a great admin retreat this summer, so everybody's on the same page in that regard. So it just feels good. It feels very focused, very strategic. We're really talking about how we can be consistent as a district. We're small, so as
Right.
much as we can stay consistent, the better for our staff and our students.
Sure. And from being small, do you think that Aztec can be a bit more nimble maybe to react to test scores or student struggles or things like that, rather than maybe compared to like a larger district may have a little more hard time to kind of steer the ship a little bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely one of the benefits. We have great staff, so we're able to quickly maybe easily adjust
Right.
with different things. So we have a little bit more wiggle room in that regard.
Got it. And with those 3 kind of priorities that you were mentioning, so that doesn't mean that everything else gets kind of thrown out the window. I mean, there's still extracurricular, there's still arts and sports and all the other things, right?
Absolutely, yes. We're putting a strong focus on academics and what's happening in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
We spent a couple days really looking at Teach Like a Champion. It's a book, but it's strategies just that we can use in our classrooms district-wide. So regardless of if you're in kinder or 12th, they're just good teaching strategies. So we're really trying to make that our focus within the academic portion of it. And then of course we have a lot of new coaches this year. We're very excited about our athletics and the direction that we're moving there. Come out Friday, it's our first football game.
Right. Okay.
So we feel like we're moving in a positive direction as a whole. So.
Good. Very good. So
Yes.
that's important for all students, right? To be able to have the academics, but also the extracurricular stuff and the other things that kind of add to the whole high school or middle school experience.
Oh,
So-
absolutely.
Okay. Good
Yes.
to hear you say that as well. And so, moving forward, then, I mean, I know it's just the second day of school, so I can't ask you about enrollment or things like that. But I know it's really important for folks to be coming to school, for parents to get their kids to school, get registered, and show up, and for all those important dates and things like that. So, things like that are underway, and I know a lot of other districts, and I think Aztec as well, are focusing a lot on attendance and trying to kind of reach out if a student's not showing up on a consistent basis or things like that. Is that also something you're watching this school year?
Yes, we're continuing with attendance focus. We had our Associate Superintendent, Phyllis Cox, met with our attendance task force. So each campus has a task force team that is kind of in charge of reaching out and making those calls when students aren't showing up, because we want to know what's going on, and if it's something we can help with, definitely. So we'll continue to push for strong attendance, and really we want kids to be there. So when a student wants to be there and when they're engaged in class, then attendance will increase. So getting back to that focus in the classroom and getting kids excited to be there each and every day.
True. And of course, for seniors, graduation rates, I guess, too, right? If they're in
Yes.
class, they're going to hopefully complete and hopefully walk across that stage and
Absolutely.
graduate, right?
Yes.
And raise those graduation rates.
Yes. We'll keep an eye on our seniors. Senioritis is a thing, and we want to make
True.
sure that they they stay on it. So I was talking with the Vista principal, Miss Gina Torres, the other day, and she's already on top of her seniors, looking at how many are graduating, and so making sure that we get them to the finish line is the goal.
Very good. In the past, you and I have talked a little bit about the program you brought to Aztec schools, and I believe it's called Capturing Kids' Hearts.
Yes.
And is that still something that is in place and will be moving forward this year as well?
Yes, it sure is. We're in our third year of it, so it's one of those things that we want to be sure it's not just something extra that we're doing. It's just kind of who we are. So it's becoming that. It's becoming more ingrained. We will have a training in September for our new staff members, which we don't have too many in Aztec this year, which is pretty exciting. But we have about 20 that will take the training in September, and so they're caught up to speed. But yeah, it's definitely, our teachers are owning it, and I think the goal this year is to let our students own it a little bit more. Sometimes as a classroom teacher, it's hard to let go of that control and have the students run good things or the launch, but they're so capable. So we're going to try and let go of some of that this year and let our students take the lead.
Got you. Now, for folks who maybe don't remember exactly what this is about, or maybe they're new to the program or new to the district or the community, this is kind of this whole, I guess, attitude, if you will, and thought process about going to school and being part of the school community, both for students and teachers and staff as well, right?
Yes. Just kind of, I think it used to be called like a positive behavior program.
Okay.
Similar.
Sure.
But really teaching the students to kind of self-control and calling each other out. We have social contracts, norms.
Right.
In all of the classrooms. And so if I see someone off task, I might say, "Hey, Scott, check yourself."
Well,
so they're kind of...
if I had a penny for every time I heard that, but yes.
So they're kind of correcting each other's behavior without the teacher having to do it. So they're really taking the ownership of their own learning and what's happening in classrooms,
Right.
In a positive way.
Sure.
Yes.
And you're seeing more students, I think, take that initiative. At least that's the last I remember us talking about it a little bit
Yes.
too. Is students are being more, I think, confident to maybe call out or just kind of ask another student to check themselves, or hey, do you think that was the right thing to do, or how could we have done that better, or things like that. Is that still something that
Definitely.
you're seeing or hoping to see this school year?
Yes, it's continuing as they, this is year 3, so
Right.
as they go up, we're seeing it more and more. Park Avenue does fantastic job of having student ambassadors, and so
Right.
they have students that kind of naturally take the lead, and at that age, 4th, 5th grade, they love it. So we're hoping that will continue to trickle into our middle school and on up as we continue to implement the program.
Got it. And year 3, you said, of course. And so,
Yes.
again, sometimes programs like that can get a little stale as they go forward. And so any plans to maybe invigorate or just kind of re-emphasize the positives of this program?
That's a great question. So one of the things is each campus has what we call our Capturing Kids' Hearts champions and their staff. And so we're trying to bring those staff together to share ideas. What's working at your site? What can someone else try at their site? And then the middle school actually has started their own Capturing Kids' Hearts champion students. So
Okay.
the students are able to give feedback as to what's working, what's not, because students are so honest. They'll let you know what they like and what they don't like, and we love that because we can adjust and help.
Right. Get it going, I guess. And
Exactly.
sometimes they can be brutally honest, too.
Exactly.
So
yes.
there's that as well. So
That's very true.
very good. Anything new from the state that's coming down the pike for schools like Aztec and other districts I know too? I mean, there's always a new something, I would think, coming out of the
I'm trying to think
public
of-
education department.
I'm trying to think of anything major. We have our superintendent call this Thursday.
Okay.
So we'll see where everyone is and get updated on a couple of House bills. But for us, there's nothing entirely new. Trying to think of anything we've made adjustments on.
Okay.
One thing we added to our handbook was water safety, but that
Okay.
is nothing major. So just having,
Well,
water
hopefully, if we
safety
get more
and,
water, we need more safety about it, right? Is that the
Absolutely,
idea? So there's
absolutely,
that
yes,
about that as well.
yes.
So, but good. But budgets are steady.
Budget's steady
As well, right?
We're seeing some increase in enrollment in our kindergarten. Hopefully,
Well,
like you
that's-
said, it's still at that time where it fluctuates.
Right.
First 10 days are usually
Sure.
in and out. But yeah, it's nice to see some younger grades start to increase in the enrollment, and hopefully that continues because ultimately it'll help our budget in the long run. So
Right.
yeah, we're excited. I'll update you in September on enrollment, and
Right.
then our state data is still embargoed, so I'll be able to share some
Gotcha.
information on that as well.
Okay. And that
So-
data is like student achievement and things like
Yes.
that, those types of things, right?
Yes, student achievement data.
Because I know you and others and your colleagues dig into that data to really kind of look and see how students did last year to see what
Yes.
what changes or what maybe areas need to be focused on for this year. Is that kind of what that drives your decisions about?
Absolutely. Yeah,
I'm
I
asking
think,
you about it, even though you told me you talk next month about
no,
it. Sorry.
that's okay. I'll give you the details next month.
Okay.
But I think it definitely helps us. It helps us to see where we did well and then where we can improve. And although those students have moved on to the next grade, it's never too late to make adjustments and see what we can do. See how we can refocus to hopefully get even better. So
Right. Very
that'll be
good.
the goal.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good. My guest this morning, Lauren Laws, is here. She is the superintendent of schools with the Aztec School District. We're talking about just getting back into the swing of things on the second day of school for Aztec schools. And so it seems like other school districts maybe gotten started a little earlier than Aztec this year. Was that
They did.
by design or?
Yeah, we actually sent out a survey at the end of the year, and
Right.
we had 2 calendar options. One was starting last week,
Okay.
and one was starting this week. We have a lot of kids, I know, like everyone in the county, that are involved in FAIR.
Right.
And so the calendar that our community voted for was to start this week, and it's actually been really nice. It's been a little bit strange because it felt like,
Right.
we should have had kids back, and we didn't. But I think overall we had good feedback about starting a little bit later, and we'll get it out at the same time. So we were able to kind of take some of our PD days and use that as instructional time for students. So it all evened out
Okay.
instructional minute wise. So
That was going to
still
be my next
good.
question, right? Are
Yes.
you going to be in school longer? But no.
No. Yeah, we managed to figure it all out, so we
Gotcha.
should be good. Yes.
Okay, very good. And in the past, when you've had kids going to the fair and trying to come to the first week of class, you excuse them, I guess, or how does that work?
It depends. Some of our FFA students, if it's considered an FFA event, it can be excused, but a lot of times it's just students are absent. So it's not a great way to start the year, right, when we're looking at absences so closely. So I think ultimately it helps students.
Right. Gotcha.
Yes.
And now they're back into it. No distractions, hopefully.
That's right. No, yeah, let's hope. Let's hope.
Exactly. Very good. Cool. Well, give us some other ideas of what you're working on these days as you get back into the swing of things for the school year, you and your team.
Gosh, so we're really trying. Our focus is really to bring in and work with the community more. And so the Tiger Summit was our first test at let's just try something different and see how it goes. So this fall we're really trying to promote literacy from K to 12. So we're going to be doing a literacy under the lights event, and we're going to invite the entire community. We're debating on how to do it with parents. Do we do a drop off, like go enjoy an evening by yourselves, or do parents come and read with their kids as well? But the idea is that our student athletes will spend some time in September and October going to the elementary schools. And I say student athletes, I mean theater, I mean clubs, everything. To really promote and go down and read with the younger students in their classrooms. And then in November, we'll turn on the football field lights, invite everybody in, and just have an event where our older kids are reading with our younger, or maybe our younger are reading to our older, and just enjoy a night of literacy. We think it's a fun way. We actually saw it in Pennsylvania. Miss Cassandra Brown is one of our teachers at Kugler Middle School, and she's the one that brought this to me. And saw it, I think it was in Pennsylvania that they do it.
Nice.
And so we thought,
in November in Pennsylvania?
I think they do theirs a little earlier.
Okay, just checking. Okay, all right.
Yes,
Fair
a
enough.
little bit earlier.
Okay.
So we were debating time frame for us because it'll be chilly. But so just different things like that where we're really trying to engage the community and have events where we can come together and celebrate our students. And I don't know, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. We can't do this alone, and we need our community partners and our families to all help help our kids be successful.
Very true. And that brings up another question for me about maybe new habits for the school year, because it's just the second day of school, as you mentioned. Do you have any suggestions or advice for parents or to kind of get into that good habit to make sure maybe homework gets done or kids get on the bus or, everything's good to go? And I know that's maybe asking a lot when you're trying to get out the door for work or school or whatever,
Absolutely.
So any advice for other parents?
I think routine is key. And so I have a middle schooler, I have an 8th grader, and I get it. Getting out the door sometimes is very difficult. So I think just that routine, phone's off at 9, you're in bed by 9:30, whatever for the older kids. Breakfast is key. If you can get a healthy breakfast or get to school in time, to have a breakfast is important because it helps fuel those kids for the day.
Right.
And then after school, they're busy. They have events and homework and things like that. So one of the things some of our coaches are doing this year is trying to put in a study hall before practice, so kids don't have to go home. They're staying at school. They have like a 30-minute study hall where they can really focus on trying to get some of that homework done, so it's not 8 or 9 o'clock at night and
after
parents
practice.
Are trying to do it. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So thank you to our coaches for helping with that as well, because like I said, it takes a village, and so the more we can help when kids are with us, the better. But, yeah, and the more parents can have them get rest and a great breakfast and send them back, and we're good to go.
That does help, and there's data that backs that up, I know, right? So
definitely.
That's important, so very good. Well, just have a couple of minutes remaining this morning. Lauren Laws from Aztec Schools, but anything else that we should be watching these first few days of school and weeks of school? Obviously, slow down in school zones. We tell that to everybody in every district.
I know. I was talking about that yesterday. They're always out.
Yeah.
Not really. We feel good. We feel like this is, I think, year 3 with me in this position, and so it finally feels like there's some consistency. Not a lot of changes. We're trying to keep things as even-keeled as possible. But we have great people in our district, and I'm excited to see the work that happens this year with the strong focus on that common language of classroom strategies in the classroom and see how that helps our academic achievement. I'm excited for our new coaches to see some of those games in the evenings and how it impacts our athletes. I just feel like we're moving in a very positive direction. So Aztec's a great place to be. I'm very thankful.
There you go. All right. Sounds like third time's the charm.
Yes.
With year number 3.
Yes.
So there you go.
Absolutely.
All right. Excellent. Well, I appreciate you coming in. Thank you. And thank you for your commitment to visit with me during the school year.
Yes.
And we'll see you next month when
That
you'll come in
sounds
with
good.
all your testing data
sure will.
and everything else. We'll dig into it.
That sounds perfect. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming over. That's Lauren Laws, the Superintendent of Schools with the Aztec School District, my guest here on KSJE.
America is running out of places to launch rockets. From American Public Media, this is Marketplace.